Reading, writing, comprehension. There's no doubt the English language is one of the most important subjects to master. But today, there is an alarming number of students that are having a difficult time learning it. In fact, despite the efforts of many educators, research is finding that more and more kids are struggling with or even lacking basic English skills.
There are many contributing factors, but two stand out clearly. First of all, when students learn skills in isolation, it's very difficult for them to see the connection between grammar, skills, and writing. Secondly, when skills are not practiced enough to promote retention, many of those skills are often forgotten.
Educators say learning English is a very long process, and one of the keys to helping students understand the structure of the language, both spoken and written, is by incorporating proven methods of learning, one of which is repetition.
Repetition is important anytime you want to learn anything new. It just takes lots and lots of practice. But with that practice, you're putting input into short-term memory. And then, if the practice is engaging and it's fun and it keeps the student interested, then you can push that short-term information into long-term memory. And that is the key to retention, because you need to be able to access it at any time.
And with so many schools across the nation facing the growing dilemma of low scores in reading and language arts, experts say it is crucial that teachers are trained to properly instruct the language so students can retain it for a lifetime.
We have such a complicated language. English is a composite language, and because of that, there are tons of rules, lots and lots of information. It would be very challenging, I think, to teach it all. That's what teachers think. So it is tempting sometimes to maybe skip over some of what we might consider to be the less important skills. In reality, those are the sub-skills. They have to be in place in order for the long-term skills to be in place.
One of the ways to combat barriers to learning is to help students understand the building blocks of the English language: grammar, vocabulary, and writing. Shurley English is a rigorous curriculum designed to do just that, teach the basic skills that are the foundation of English literacy.
The Shurley English program actually puts together for the teacher and the student a process where learning difficult skills in English aren't that difficult. These basic skills serve like training wheels on a bike. And without those training wheels, a lot of the students will never polarize, they'll never understand how it all fits together. That's why we keep talking about grammar, skills, and writing.
Sentence, sentence, sentence is complete, complete, complete. When 5 simple rules it meets.
We begin by teaching parts of speech through jingles. The teacher can teach their students to sing them or chant them, but through the jingles they learn about the definition for that part of speech, and if there's a question associated with it, it would be included in the jingle as well. Secondly, we teach a unique process known as the question and answer flow, and it's just an oral classification process of how each and every word works in order to build the sentence. From there, we teach our students to write practice sentences. The teacher places labels on the board, and the students learn to write the sentence from the core parts out using the same question and answer flow process that we've taught them in the basic grammar lesson. Once a student can understand how each and every word works in order to build a sentence, they can be expected to write good sentences. When they can write a good sentence, they can be shown the organizational structure to put those sentences together into good paragraphs and essays. From there, we teach our students to write for all purposes, and we give them a great foundation for success.
The English learning curriculum also promotes student-to-teacher interaction, higher thinking skills, and provides the teachers with all the tools needed to understand a concept and therefore teach it to their students.
There is no comparison with Shurley English and other curriculums, because the other curriculums basically teach the skills in isolation. You work on nouns for a few weeks and then you move on, and you work on something else. And as a teacher, if you aren't supplementing things in there to make it all make sense, and a lot of times it never does click or make sense with the children. With Shurley, I don't have to worry about supplementing those things because it's going to provide all those things for me. If my students don't get nouns or get adjectives or adverbs, they're going to have another opportunity because we're going to practice that every day. A lot of times by just teaching the skills in isolation, we don't give them the rigor maybe that they need or the higher order thinking that they need. And Shurley is able to bring that in so that they are getting those skills every day. They're reviewing those skills.
When I take tests now, I'm able to pick out the noun, the verbs, the pronouns, subject nouns, and subject pronouns and stuff and things. Last year I didn't know the parts of speech, and now I do, and it helped me a lot.
When I take the test, I feel confident because I know what I'm going to pick and I know the right answer.
For more than 20 years, Shurley Instructional Materials has specialized in developing English curriculum for grades K through 8. The goal of the organization is to provide materials that promote comprehension, application, retention, and critical thinking skills.
We definitely have school districts across America that have had tremendous success just watching from 1 year before having Shurley English, and then a year later they will have percentage gains in language arts and reading by sometimes 10, 15 points, and that's exceptional. The other thing that's probably even more important is the affective mode. When children love learning, when they're excited and they don't mind practicing, their self-esteem is built, their confidence is built, and they can become competent in English across the board, reading, writing, spoken.
Well, I can truly say that this is a program that I truly endorse. I can say that because I've done it without using Shurley English. And I can truly say that this has brought a level of excitement, not only to me as a teacher, but to my students I service. And I really feel that Shurley English encompasses everything that these students need to learn about reading and language arts, not only for testing, but for life skills.
Learning English is the bedrock to further educational pursuits. Thanks to Shurley Instructional Materials, today's educators have the key elements to ensure students will learn and retain the rules of the English language. To learn more about Shurley Instructional Materials, visit shurley.com or call 800-566-2966. Empowering students since 1989.